Did you know that I just launched a brand new website where you can download all of my streaming widgets completely for free? Okay, now that I've got your attention, while that is still partially true, you could have already downloaded all my widgets from my Ko-Fi store before. And that is also the place where you can still download them to this day. However, I made updates to all of my widgets to make them easier to install, and I've completely rewritten the guides to show you how you can install these widgets and customize them for yourself. Now in this video, I wanted to quickly go over my new website, but also go over all of the widgets that I currently have available to show you how you can install them, but most importantly, what you need to do after the installation to make sure that these widgets work perfectly for your stream. So if you want to know something about a specific widget, just check out the chapters that you can find in the description below the like button to see how you need to set up the widget of your choice. Or just watch the entire video to give me some more watch hours, but also to see what all the widgets are that I have available. Now the only widget that we're not going to cover in this video is the digital sub printer, because I already recently made a video that is still up to date on that one, so I'm just going to link that in the corner right there. But we are going to look at all of the other widgets that have older videos. Now one thing to note is that these widgets going forward only support Streamer.bot. I don't support Widgets anymore, mostly because Widgets doesn't exist anymore, and I simply didn't have the time to make them work also on Sammy. So without further ado, let's jump right in so I can show you my new website, but also show you how to install these widgets yourself. Alright, well the first thing to do with all of these widgets is to actually install the scenes into OBS. And the way that you do that is to make sure that you have all the plugins that I've listed in the README file installed, but most importantly the source copy plugin. And what you need to do to actually get this in OBS is you go to Tools menu, go to Source Copy, and then click on Load Scene. There you will load the JSON file that you can find in the zip file that you've downloaded from my Ko-Fi store. And once you've done that, all the scenes and all the sources, all the filters will be installed automatically. One thing that you do need to note though is make sure that all the plugins that you need for a specific widget are installed beforehand, otherwise some things might not work. Now, after you've installed everything in OBS, we also need to install the actions into Streamer.bot. And I've made this a little bit easier than before. So this time, what you need to do is you click on Import, and then here you will drag in the mpower file that you can also find in the zip folder. Simply drag it into this box, and you will see all the actions that will be installed appear over here. Click import and you should be good to go. Now with most widgets, there are a couple of things that you need to set up both in Streamer.bot and OBS to make sure that they work correctly. The most important things are usually local file paths that you need to set up. So again, in this video, we're going to go over all of the widgets so I can quickly show you where you need to set these up yourself. Now let's begin with the Rate Polaroid widget. First things that you need to do after you've installed the scenes in OBS is you need to set the local file source for both the sound shutter and the media Polaroid border sources. So simply click on them, go to properties and select the browse button. And there in the media and resources folder, you will find the shutter.mp3. Open that, click OK, and then do the same thing for your media Polaroid border. Again, in media and resources, you will find the PNG file that you need for that. Click open, and then you are good to go with those. Then you also need to set your capture device. So go to the capture webcam source, click on properties, there select the clone that you're going to make, which is usually going to be your main webcam. So simply select your main webcam source for that, click OK, and then it should appear in the video right there. I won't be able to see it in my instance of OBS because I'm already using my webcam in the other OBS that I'm using to record. But for you, when you select the right source, it should work. Then all you need to do is simply drag it a little bit bigger or smaller to make sure that it fits within the Polaroid frame, and then you are good to go. Then lastly, you need to set up a couple of things in Streamer.bot as well. So go into Streamer.bot and select your OBS Cord Rate Polaroid Discord trigger, and then go and open the folders that you see over here and simply edit the actions that say edit this action. There's two of them. One is the Discord webhook URL. If you don't know how to make a Discord webhook, simply follow the guide that I've linked on my wiki. And you need to also set the screenshot file location. So that's going to be a folder on your PC. Copy the address of that and paste that in here. Make sure that you're using backslashes, otherwise it might not work. Then all you need to do in Streamer.bot is simply click on the trigger, select test trigger, and then in OBS you will see the Polaroid appear in, the photo is getting taken, and then after a few seconds it gets posted to Discord and the Polaroid will disappear from your screen again. Now when that happens and the Polaroid is posted to your Discord, you know that everything is set up correctly. And the next time you get a raid, it will all happen automatically. Now of course, one thing that you can still do with this is you can fully customize the scene that we just imported. So you can change the font of the title. You can change the title itself. You can add a background. You can add like other effects, like maybe you got some graphics that you want to show off. Just make sure that you don't change the name of the sources that were already made, or you change the position of those. Other than that, you can just simply add whatever you want to add to this scene. Next up, we're going to be looking at the Xbox One achievement widget. Now again, simply install the scenes and sources in OBS and the actions in Streamer.bot, and then you can start adding and changing some things manually yourself again. Now first up, we need to edit a mask. So go into your scene, filters, and then in the achievement image mask, click browse again. And then again, in media and resources of the zip file that you downloaded, you'll find the Xbox achievement image mask. Select that and then close this window. Then we need to add some shader filters as well. The first one is going to be in the achievement PFP logo. So click on that, select filters, and then in the rounded corners, find the shader text file for that. And then in media and resources, in the shader filter folder, you will find the rounded rect shader that you need for that. Now we need to add this same file a couple more times. Once again, in the achievement logo area, we also need to do it in the achievement bar. And then lastly, we need to add the local path to the sound effect. So right click on that, select properties, and then find the achievement sound effect that you will find again in the media and resources folder. And once that is done, in Streamer.bot, you need to set up a channel point reward. Name it whatever you want. I called mine achievement unlocked, but make sure that you require text input from the user. Once you've done that, simply link that here by selecting right click, switch, and then go to channel reward, reward redemption, and then select the reward that you just created there. And then you can go ahead and again test it out. So right click on that, test trigger, and then in OBS, you will see the effect popping up once more with the sound, the achievement text that people just entered, and of course the profile picture. It will close up again. And once that happens, you know that you've installed everything correctly. And what you can do after this is simply add this scene that we just created, the MrJordilicious achievement unlocked scene, add that scene to every other scene where you want this effect to appear, and then you are finished. Next up, we're going to stay within the achievement realm of things. Namely, we're going to look at my PlayStation trophy widget. Now this one works very similar. Make sure that you install the scene and all the sources in OBS first, then import the action within Streamer.bot. And then you need to set up a couple of things within Streamer.bot itself. I've made everything as easy as I can, so what you need to do here is you need to set the local file path to a couple of sources. All of them you will find within the media and resources folder in your zip file, so simply unpack that and set the local file path to your trophy images, your trophy sound file, your trophy background image file, and your trophy config.txt file here as well. Once you've done that, you are good to go and you can start testing it. So again, make a channel point redemption. I called mine trophy earned, but just like with the Xbox achievement, create one that you like and then simply add the trigger here by right clicking, going into Twitch, channel reward, reward redemption, and then selecting the reward that you just created. Then right click, test trigger, and the effect should appear on screen just like that. After a few seconds, it will disappear again. And once that happens, you know that everything works. And again, what you need to do next is add this scene as a nested scene to all the other scenes where you want this effect to appear whenever someone redeems the channel point reward. Next up, we'll be looking at two simple widgets that are created for shoutouts. This one is a little bit different because here you need to choose if you want to install version 1 or version 2, and pick the corresponding version and install the scene and sources for that in OBS, and then also the actions in Streamer.bot. Then after the installation, you also need to set the local file path for a shader filter. So if you've selected version 1, you need to do that in the shoutout PFP browser source. So right click on that, select filters, and then in the rounded corners, select the local file path for the rounded rect shader, which you can find in the media and resources folder. Now, if you've selected version 2, do the same thing, but this time in the browser profile pic v2 source. Then in Streamer.bot, you need to actually enable the version that you've chosen. So either version 1 or version 2, right click on that and select enabled. And you also need to go into commands and make sure that the shoutout command is enabled. Then all you have to do is go into your Twitch chat and type in !SO followed by a streamer, and you will see the effect appear in your OBS. Now, the last thing that you can do to customize this, which is totally optional, you can actually customize the message that gets posted to your Twitch chat. So for that, again, go into either one of the versions and then change the Twitch message sub-action. So right click on that, edit sub-action, and then here you can change the text to whatever you want it to be. Just make sure that you don't change the variables. So that's the text that is between the percentage signs. Make sure that stays intact, otherwise the information won't show in chat. And the last thing that you need to do is you need to make sure that the scene that we just created, either scene version 1 or version 2, gets added as a nested scene to all the other scenes again where you want the shoutout to appear. Now the last widget that we're going to be looking at is also the simplest one. This one doesn't really require a lot of explanation. Again, import the scene in OBS and import the actions within Streamer.bot. And then all you have to do after the installation is you need to add this scene to all the scenes where you want the widget to appear. For instance, I have mine on my BRB scene, so whenever I take a break, people can still see on screen what game I was playing. Now you can further customize this, so if you want to add things like other graphics or you want to change the font of the text here, you can totally do that. Just make sure you don't change the name of the sources that we have already created. But feel free to add more things to this scene if you want to. And there you have it, those are all the widgets that are currently available on my wiki page. Now the wiki is going to be a live document, so whenever I notice any mistakes or whenever I can make things easier for you guys to install, I will update the wiki, so that's always going to be the latest version of these README files. So if you've downloaded any of my files in the future and the installation process described in the wiki is slightly different than what you've seen right here, just make sure that you always follow the wiki, because that's going to be the most up-to-date version. And that's all for today's video. Again, I just wanted to show you guys the newly updated version of my stream widgets, so that whenever you download them from my Ko-Fi store right now, you kind of have an idea of what you can expect. Now, as always, all of these stream widgets are free for you to download, but if you like them and they're helpful to you and you want to help me support my content, I would always appreciate it when you leave a little donation with your purchase. Simply, whenever you download the files on Ko-Fi, add an amount that you want to donate to me, and then purchase the files that way. The beauty of Ko-Fi is that all of your donations go directly to me. There's no fees or other cuts that get taken away, so whatever you donate also gets donated straight to me. Now, I will try to make more and new widgets for in the future as well, so if you have any ideas of widgets that you would like to see, simply leave them in a comment down below, and while I can't make any promises, I will of course look at all your suggestions. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully I will see you in one of my live streams. I stream every week on both Twitch and YouTube because I do multi-streaming these days. So definitely drop on by and say hi in chat, especially if you've downloaded any of my widgets, because I always love to hear from some satisfied customers. And thanks for watching this video. Hopefully I will see you in the next one. But for now, keep on streaming.